In the heart of southeastern Nigeria, where mud met the lush embrace of the rainforest, lay the village of Umuaro. Mud brick compounds with corrugated roofs clustered beneath the towering branches of an ancient IROKO tree, its massive trunk a sentinel of time. The air hummed with the aroma of egusi stew and the faint rhythm of talking drums from a nearby market. Ifoma Tochi, known to all as Mama Ifoma, was the village's storyteller, a keeper of oral histories, though her own was scarred by sorrow. At 62, her hands were rough from years of grinding yam and her eyes carried the weight of unspoken loss. 10 years ago, her daughter Chidinma and son-in-law Emeka died in a lorry crash on the road to Lagos, leaving behind their 3 children, Amora, 12, Chika, 9, and little Oyika, barely 4. Mama Ifoma welcomed them into her home without a second thought, her heart a fire that refused to fade. The children called her Mama, and under her care, they grew like the IROKO's roots, strong and unyielding. Amora, quick-witted and bold, helped with chores and dreamed of becoming a doctor. Chika, with his infectious grin and clever hands, crafted toys from palm kernels. Oyika, shy and watchful, followed her grandmother like a shadow, clutching a cloth doll Chidinma had made. Each morning, Mama Ifoma rose before dawn, her wrapper-knotted family, to fetch water from the stream. The children woke to her humming, a soulful tune about the river that washed over their land. The river runs, even when we mourn, she'd say, stirring a pot of jollof rice, its spicy warmth filling their compound. But the village was changing. Drought crept nearer, the stream grew sluggish, and murmurs of moving to the city stirred among the young. One evening, as the sky glowed with shades of orange and violet, Amora sat beneath the IROKO, her notebook open but untouched. "Mama," she asked, "why do we stay here? Everyone says Lagos has jobs, hospitals, everything." Mama Ifoma, weaving a mat from raffia, paused. Her fingers shook slightly, but her voice was firm. "This land holds our stories, Amora. Your mother's songs still linger in this tree. Your father carved his name on its back as a boy. If we leave, who will keep them alive?" Amora frowned, her teenage fire flaring. "But what about us? There's no future here. The stream is drying up." Mama Ifoma's gaze softened. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small wooden pendant, carved with an Odem symbol, a sign of strength and return. "Your mother wore this," she said, pressing it into Amora's hand. "She believed in building a future without losing the past. You can do the same." That night, Chika overheard their words. He crept to the IROKO, tracing his father's faded initials with a stick. He didn't grasp Amora's restlessness, but he felt the unease in the air, like a storm gathering. Oyika, called beside him, whispered, "Will Mama leave us too?" "No," Chika said stoutly, though doubt pricked him. "Mama is like the IROKO. She endures." Weeks later, a man arrived in Umuaro, his polished shoes clashing with the dusty paths. He called himself Mr. John, a recruiter from Lagos, offering jobs and scholarships for families willing to relocate. The village hummed with hope and doubt. At a gathering beneath the IROKO, he spoke of factories needing workers and schools with computers. "Your children deserve better," he said, his smile broad but distant. Mama Ifoma listened, her expression unreadable. After the meeting, Amara confronted her. "Mama, this could be our chance. I could study medicine, Chika could learn a skill, and Oyika could go to a proper school. And what of our home?" Mama Ifoma asked. "This man speaks of progress, but he does not know our soil, our spirits. What will we lose?" Amora's eyes blazed. "We are losing everything here. The crops wither, the stream is fading. You're holding us back." The words cut deep, but Mama Ifoma stayed silent. That night, she sat alone by the fire, her fingers tracing the Odom pendant. She recalled Chidinma, her daughter's dreams of healing, and Emeka, her son-in-law's love for this land. Could she release them, for the children's sake. The annual festival of ancestors finally came, a time when Umuaro honored its forebears with music, dance, and stories. Mama Ifoma, as the storyteller, was to lead the tales. This year, she decided the story would be about her. As drums pulsed and flutes sang, she stood beneath the IROKO, her voice rising over the crowd. She spoke of her late daughter's compassion, her late son-in-law's devotion, and the love that tied them to Umuaro. She told of the drought the outsiders offer, and her fear of losing her grandchildren to a city that might erase their roots. The villagers listened, some nodding, others brushing away tears. Amora, standing with Chika and Oyika, felt her anger melt. She saw her grandmother not as an obstacle, but as a link to their past. When Mama Ifoma finished, Amora stepped forward. "Mama," she said, her voice steady, "we can stay and fight for Umuaro. But we need help, new ways to farm, to save water. I'll learn them, for you, for Mama and Papa." The next morning, Mama Ifoma called a meeting with the village elders. Amora, though young, was invited to speak. She shared ideas she had studied: drip irrigation, drought-resistant yams, and a cooperative to sell farm products and crafts in Lagos. The elders, stirred by her passion, agreed to seek aid from a nearby agricultural group. Mr. John returned, but this time, the village had a counteroffer. "Train us here," Mama Ifoma said. "Bring your knowledge to Umuaro, and we will grow our own future." Surprised but intrigued, he promised to connect them with experts. Months later, the first rains fell, hesitant but hopeful. Amora led a youth group to plant yams with new methods. Chika built a water-saving device from scraps, beaming as it worked. Oyika, still clutching her doll, began to read, her small voice echoing her grandmother's songs. Beneath the Iroko's shade, Mama Ifoma watched her grandchildren. The Odam pendant hung around Amora's neck, a reminder that progress and memory could thrive together. Umuaro was not just a place, it was their story, and they would write its next chapter as one.